Hey, this is Michael Emery. Thanks for tuning into the Slow Baja. This podcast is powered by Tequila Fortaleza, handmade in small batches and hands down my favorite tequila. Have you asked your doctor if Baja is right for you? Do you have a prescription that you're itching to get filled? Well, Slow Baja has the answer. I've got 3 great driving adventures coming up. You can check them out at the new Adventures tab at slowbaja.com. First up is the Nora Baja 500, September 28th to October 1st. The Slow Baja Safari class is the happiest class inside of the happiest race on earth. You can get more information at slowbaja.com/adventures. And when you're ready to sign up, it's at nora.com, NORRA.com. Sign up for the Slow Baja Safari class in the Baja 500. Next up, October 15th through the 20th, I am so excited to announce the Slow Baja Vintage Expedition. This first of its kind vintage off-road gathering is for vehicles 1993 and older and bikes 1980 and older. I'm not going to tell you any more about the bikes because I've teamed up with Adam Sheard at Speed Deluxe and the bike side is already sold out. So you can't come on a bike. You got to come on a four-wheel vehicle. It does not need to be four-wheel drive. If you've got a Manx buggy, if you've got a Baja Bug, if you've got a VW Thing, if you've got a Safari style 911, I think you can make it. And if you can't, we're going to have somebody nearby to help you through the hard parts. It's for 1993 and older vehicles, and I'm probably going to let a few newer rigs in if they look like a 1993. So all of you 80 series Land Cruiser guys, you're in. All of you Land Rover Defender owners, well, nobody's probably bringing a Land Rover Defender to Baja anymore. If you got a Land Rover Defender, you're in. Land Rover Discovery, you're in. Land Rover Classic, Range Rover Classic, short wheelbase, long wheelbase, you're in. G-Wagons, the older the better, but let me know what you want to bring. We've got 5 days of great dirt drives, lunch stops at my favorite taco stands, and when we get back to camp at night, it's cold craft beer and chef-prepared meals. We're going to watch the sun set. We're going to watch the sky go dark. There's going to be about 1 billion stars. We're going to sip fine tequila around a campfire, and if this sounds like the way you want to experience Slow Baja, you better hit me up quick at slowbaja.com/adventures. That's right, slowbaja.com/adventures for the Slow Baja Vintage Expedition. The third adventure to tell you about is the Slow Baja Rally. It's February 23rd through March 3rd, 2024. This slow roll through Baja is a loose one. You can do this drive any way you want in anything you want. From a Sprinter van to a Vespa, it's all about going slow and saying hello. Fewer miles, more smiles. We're going to have a nice layover for a couple of days in Loreto. There's going to be a 1-day mule packing trip, a 1-day water trip, weather cooperating, a 1-day volunteer project. If this sounds like something that interests you, you want to get to camp early, you want to cook, you want to share, you want to craft up a cocktail or share a brew, this is the trip for you. More info's at slowbaja.com/adventures, slowbaja.com/adventures for the Slow Baja Rally.
Yes, we're good.
Hey, it's Slow Baja.
Yes.
And we have a travel talk, and I'm here with Faine Lara, and we're at the beautiful Seven Crowns Hotel on the Malecon in La Paz, beautiful La Paz, and we are outdoors, 5th floor balcony. You've got some street noise, you've got some restaurant noise in the background. There's a beautiful bar here and restaurant, and folks are having their breakfast. It's 9:30 in the morning on a beautiful weekend. There's a big fiesta last night, and I'm just excited to be here and tell people about this beautiful spot. So can you just tell me a little bit of the history of this beautiful hotel and a little bit about La Paz and what was happening and the history of this amazing place?
Thank you. So this is our second hotel. We have another one in Cabo San Lucas. This was the second location, and it has probably around 20 years. I have to say, it was from my grandfather's. He did this hotel a few years ago, and now it's a family business. We're making some changes. We love this place. The restaurant, actually, where we are right now, it's probably 2 years old. There was a renovation a few years ago, and we didn't have this view before, and now I think it's a beautiful view. Our guests love it. I think it's one of the best things about the hotel.
Yeah, absolutely. It's right here on the bay, It's stunning. You've got all the sailboats at anchor. Some fishing boats are going out. Beautiful Hatteras is going by, about a 50-footer. You've got the dock where you take your tour if you're going to go swim with the whale sharks.
Yes.
And it's all right here.
Yes, right in front. Our guests usually just cross the street, and they're usually the boats to take to go to the island, to Espiritu Santo. Also the whale shark. The season it's not yet anymore, but also for that, it's a great place to take a tour.
Yeah, it's a fabulous location. You're in the heart of it all.
That's
Ted and I left. We got in late last night. We left our car in the garage. Thank you to your bellman. He moved one car out, his car, I think, or somebody's car
Yes.
on the staff, to put our car in, and we just walked down and took in the Fiesta, and then had a nice dinner at Coyote. Is it El Coyote in Harker? There they have the tram that goes back and forth across the alley where they send the food and the drinks from one to the other.
Oh, really?
At Harker, yeah.
Oh, Harker,
Yeah,
yes.
it's good fun.
Do they do that?
Yeah,
Actually, yes.
They have like a big cart
Yes.
that's suspended in the air, and they wheel the
The
food
food.
and the drink from one restaurant to the other. I think the kitchen and bar is in one, and the seating is in
Yes.
the other. So it's very fun.
Yes.
But what I'm getting to is, you're right here in the heart.
Yes.
And this is a beautiful hotel, nice room. And tell me a little bit about the history in your family and how this place came together.
So actually, my grandfather was from Rosalia. He spent many years there in Rosalia. He says it was his best time of his life. And then I think because of business, he had to move to La Paz a few years later. And then his father was the owner of some properties.
Yes.
And he got some. And I think he was a businessman, and he had this vision for La Paz. So he thought someday, he was not into hospitality, but he thought someday this was going to be worth it. And I think he had a good idea.
He had a good vision.
Yes,
for
he had a
sure.
good vision for sure.
For sure.
Yes.
So let's get into some details. How many rooms?
It's almost 60.
Almost 60.
Yes, we usually keep two. We don't sell 2 rooms just in case something happens. We have to make sure we keep 2 rooms in case we need to move another guest from
In
another
case Slow Baja comes along
exactly.
begging for rooms. Yeah. No, thank you. There was a big fiesta on, as I said 4 times already.
What about the noise? Was it good last night?
I think, it's part of being in a city.
Yes.
It's part of being in the city. We're not in the country here.
Yes.
There's excitement going on. Can you tell me about what we experienced last night? It was a huge anniversary of La Paz. Is that what I have? Do I have that right?
Yes, that's right. Every year there's a celebration for the anniversary of La Paz, and this weekend was the celebration. There was also a famous singer, Ray Lee, who came to La Paz also. There was an event on Friday right in front of us. I mean, people are not looking, but there's a place called El Mogote, pretty famous here in La Paz, and there was a big local event. The singer came. It's nice to have those types of events because I think we have a beautiful place, and having people come from another places to promote and having something to do on the weekend, something exciting. Every time I think the tourism, it's having more type of events like this, and it's fun. It's good for us also the whole hotels and hospitality industry. That's nice.
Yeah, my experience in coming to La Paz is usually around an event, so usually a car
Yes.
off-road racing event. And so the times I've been to La Paz recently, the town has been, taken over to some degree. The Malecon, anyways, has been taken over to some degree with the Baja 1000, Nora 1000, what have you. Last night, we were the only gringos walking around, Ted
Yes.
and I. And that's what I really love about La Paz. It is a very Mexican, for Mexicans city.
Yes.
And everything is here, whatever you need. You've got this beautiful Malecon, which we've mentioned. You've got incredible richness of sea life and being able to take a tour, swim with the whale sharks, see the sea lions,
Yes.
and take a walk here. This is an interesting place. Maybe you can help me what's happening here. This is almost the only place that I see in Mexico where the local people are walking their dogs on a leash. They're in their
Yes.
exercise gear. They're running up and down the Malecon. It's a very different spot. You see some of that in Ensenada. I don't spend enough time in Tijuana to be able to say. What can you tell me about the spirit here
Yes.
in La Paz and the people?
That's interesting. That's interesting. I've wondered the same because maybe in Cabo there's a lot more people. Here we are having more people, but you don't seem that crowded yet. It's pretty quiet, pretty local. Still, you have a lot of tourism, but just keeps being quiet and calm. And you can do that. You can go for a run. The locals. You can meet people at some restaurants sometimes. That's interesting. I don't know what would happen. I mean, in the future. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of things growing. Rooftops are opening, restaurants are opening. So who knows what's going to happen? But hopefully we kind of keep the same vibe.
Yeah, the vibe and the charm.
Yes.
The vibe and the charm is strong here in La Paz for sure. The vibe and the charm. Getting back to this beautiful space that we're in, your rooftop restaurant, bar, overlooking the incredible beauty of the harbor here. I know it gets hot.
Yes.
So please tell me, what is the high season here? What is the low season? And what should people plan for when they're coming to stay here or come to visit La Paz?
Okay. So September I do not recommend because of the hurricanes. We have hurricane season. So usually it can be tricky. I mean, not every year there's a hurricane, but usually people do not want to take that risk. November, December, January, February, beautiful months. If you like cold weather, I think it's nice. Then it's changing. Spring break, it's also nice, a little bit more warm. And then from July, it starts to get warm. If you like hot weather, come from July. August is pretty hot. But some people do like, they prefer to spend a day on the boat with the sun right on them. So it depends what you like. This season we had many Canadians. I was pretty surprised. On our cold weather, of course, they come from much
snowbirds.
cold. Yes,
Snowbirds. Yes, they need to get away.
Yes, but I was amazed. There were many Canadians. I was pretty surprised. They spent a lot of time here.
Well, it's a nice place to spend some time. That's
Yes.
for sure.
And it's pretty interesting because many of them, they were looking also for a place to live, which it's also, I don't know, it says something, right? We'll see how that, if we're going to have more Canadians in the future. That's interesting, I think.
They're very nice people.
Yes, they are. They are.
Well, tell me a few things. I won't keep you for the entire morning. Tell me a few of your favorites. So obviously, people are going to come and stay in this beautiful hotel. You've got, access to everything within walking distance. Tell me a little bit about the places you're going to go out.
Yes. We love Todos Santos. Anytime we have visits, we go to Todos Santos. We like going for a place to eat there.
And tell my listeners, the Slow Baja community, about how far of a drive is that?
Of course. It's around 45 minutes to 1 hour, depends. It's not that far. We usually recommend our guests, if they can, to rent a car so they can move around the beaches here in La Paz and also go to Todos Santos. It's a nice place to go. It's still pretty small. It's not that big. It's just if you want to spend a few hours in some place different, take a road. I think that's nice to, be with your friends, get your car and put some music on and go to Todos Santos, have a nice meal, and then come back to La Paz. It's a good thing to do. I think in that aspect, there are many places that are we're getting here in La Paz around, not exactly in the city, but around the area. So people like to, because at the end of the day, it's a small city. So sometimes it's going to the beach, or what else do we do, right? So it's nice to take a car and go to a place to eat and enjoy the road, right? Because in the cities, you cannot do that. But here,
there's some traffic here.
You can do that and just enjoy the desert or the ocean view.
Well, Ted and I, our last stop last night was El Triunfo.
Oh, yeah?
Which is just a charming little town. We really love it. But some
Yes.
interesting things are going on there because,
Yes.
it's the old silver mining place and a lot of the beautiful old colonial buildings. It's only one street,
Yes.
2 streets, something,
Yes.
it's very small, but some things, you can see the investment, some things have gone
Yes.
on there. Very nice little bakery. And I'll shout out Consuelo at La Pasadita. She's I think my favorite cook, restaurant owner in all of Baja. She has such a beautiful smile and welcomes us
In El
warmly
Triunfo, right?
in El Triunfo, right across from the church. Shout out.
That's right.
Stop in, folks. If you're in El Triunfo, stop in and see Consuelo and tell her that Slow Baja sent you. She calls me Senor Robusto, but anyways, enough. What I'm getting to is there's a lot to do in La Paz, and as somebody who's doing great driving adventures, whatever you need here you can find. If you need to have your car fixed in any way, new car dealers, big box stores, all sorts of repair, great seafood, beautiful location. Yes, it's very hot in the summer, but that also coincides with some very good fishing.
Yes.
So some people come in July and August because the fishing is very good.
Yes.
Well, let's wrap it up. You have, I think, the most Instagrammed beach in all of Baja, just down the way.
Yes.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that natural beauty here?
Balandra,
Yeah.
beautiful place. Gets pretty crowded, so take that into account when you come visit La Paz. They usually have a capacity on high season, but it's a beautiful place. Next to it is Tecolote. It's also worth it, but the view, in my opinion, Balandra gets the best one. Beautiful place, and you can also do hiking. I don't know if you've done it before,
Not
if you
yet,
know
no.
about it. It's like 25-minute walk and then 25-minute going down back. Beautiful thing to do, either in the morning or at the sunset. It's worth it. It's good to do that. It's a nice place to do it.
Well, we're going to end it there on the view because the view here is pretty nice, folks. So I'm going to say Slow Baja approved the 7 Crowns in the heart of La Paz at the pier, the tour boat pier right there in front of the Malecon. And what's the best way for people to find out about this hotel? Tell me about your social media websites, all of
course.
that.
So we are Instagram, Facebook. You can find us on Google, also Booking, and find us at Hotel 7 Crown. We have one location in Cabo San Lucas, and we have 2 locations here in La Paz. We have one on the boardwalk, and we have another one at downtown. Downtown, it's a little bit more familiar, I think. If you like a little bit more the ocean view, you can do Malecon. If you like restaurants, downtown it's a good place. And if you want pool, we have a pool over there. So each hotel has its own thing, right? Beautiful both. And thank you, Slow Baja, for coming. We appreciate and we love that you do this with La Baja. It's so nice.
We're trying to keep Baja slow.
Yes, keep it that way, please.
All right. Well, thank you,
Thank
Fine. It's really a lovely morning here. Nice to meet you. Nice to stay in this beautiful property. I hope we get to stay downtown next time because we do love restaurants and we do love to see more.
Yes.
And I think, again, there's an awful lot happening here. So 7 Crowns, check it out. Slow Baja approved. And we're going to get on the road to see Sal Fish and then on to Loreto. So thanks, Fine, for making some time and telling us about this beautiful property.
Thank you. Thank you.
We did it.
Great.
Easy. You're still smiling.
Easy, yes.
Easy, yes.
Fun.
All right.
Here at Slow Baja, we can't wait to drive our old Land Cruiser south of the border. And when we go, we'll be going with Baja Bound Insurance. Their website's fast and easy to use. Check them out at bajabound.com. That's bajabound.com, serving Mexico travelers since 1994. Big thanks to my new sponsor, Nomad Wheels. They stepped up and sponsored the Slow Baja Safari class at the Nora Mexican 1000. And I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but Slow Baja is running a set of 501 convoys in utility gray, and they look pretty damn sharp. They were a little shiny. I will admit that. They were a little shiny when I got them installed at Basil's garage just before the Nora Mexican 1000. But after, 3,800 miles of Baja dirt, they look perfect. They really do. Nomadwheels.com. That's right. Check them out. Reflecting a minimalist approach to off-road travel. Nomadwheels.com. I'm a minimalist when it comes to Baja travel, but the one thing I don't leave home without is a good old paper map. My favorite is the beautiful, and I mean beautiful, Baja Road and Recreation Atlas by Benchmark Maps. It's an oversized 72-page book. It's jammed with details. It brings the peninsula's rugged terrain into clear focus. Get yours at benchmarkmaps.com. In fact, get two. One for your trip planning at home and one for your Baja rig. And while you're at benchmarkmaps.com, you got to check out all their other atlases. I think they're up to 17 now, including British Columbia. They've got folding maps. They've got digital maps. They've got giant wall maps. My favorite, and I've got it up on my wall right here at Slow Baja HQ, is the 30-inch by 46-inch Baja wall map. It's so great to just look at one thing, see the entire peninsula there. I love it. Benchmarkmaps.com, Slow Baja approved. If you enjoy these sort of intimate conversations, they take time. Time is money, they tell me. I don't know. But what I'm going to ask you to do is do drop a taco in the tank. It makes a huge difference to me to keep this show on the road. It really is a tiny little shoestring operation, and I greatly appreciate the support that the listeners share with me. So please take a second, drop a taco in the tank, and drop a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify. Head over to the slowbaja.com/store. Check out the Slow Baja store. You're going to have to rifle through the bins. It's nearly sold out there. That's right. I went to the Nora 1000. I'm broke. I'll just freely admit that. I haven't had a chance to replenish the store. So dig around, see if there's a shirt in your size, a couple of hats left, sweatshirts, stickers. I appreciate you repping Slow Baja this summer. June Gloom sale. You folks in San Diego can still get your sweatshirts a few bucks off on those if you can find one that fits you. And I always appreciate filling those orders, send you a little handwritten note saying thanks, stuffing a couple stickers in there. So again, thanks for repping Slow Baja. I'll be back next week with something fun. And to quote Mary McGee's pal, Hall of Famer Mary McGee, her pal Steve McQueen, Baja lover, who said something to the effect of, Baja's life. Anything that happens before or after is just waiting.